Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Valley of the Mist, Block of the Month, and I'm Adriane Ritter.
And I'm Shelley McNeely.
And we are ready to do our May block. So our May block, as you can see right here, is an improv churn dash block.
Yes.
So it's really simple to do. You don't have to worry about matching corners because, as you'll see, it's not going to be super accurate how we even cut it. Right. The other thing for, all right, number one, please go to the website for Valley of the Mist Quilt Guild and get the instructions there. So then you have all of the cutting sizes that you need.
Right.
And it does describe the fabrics there. If you are doing these for yourself, you can use whatever fabrics you want. If you're doing it for the guild and you're going to turn them in to be in the drawing, then you do need to use some specific fabrics, which Shelley will go over with in just a minute. Well, these blocks, if you're turning them in for the guild, this is where we're starting our long break. These are not due until September. So the next 4 months, because the summertime.
That sounds right.
Yeah, we have 4 months, 4 blocks that will be due in September, and this is the first of the 4.
Right.
So our studio is in a little disarray, our high-tech studio, because Shelley and I are moving, but we're at our new location a little bit, but kind of set up.
Yeah.
So let's go over
Let's get
this
started.
block. Okay, I'm going to take this off of here. There's a completed block, and Shelley's going to go over the fabrics.
Okay, first one is our focus fabric, which is Modern Movement by Henry Glass. And you're going to need a 4.5-inch square of that. I'm not sure this is going to stay here, but we'll give it a try.
Yeah, we can try. Okay.
Then we need 2 of our coordinating fabric, which is any fabric that goes with any of the colors in the focus fabric, and that's 2 of these 5.5-inch squares. Then you need 2 white 5.5-inch squares.
I'm going to take those ones.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we need 2 white pieces that are 5.5 by 5, and 2 gray pieces that are 5.5 by 5.
Okay, so now I'm going to actually go on to our first step, which makes it, I'm hoping, I'm doing the blue fabric on top just to make sure it contrasts with this cutting mat. So after you cut out these 5.5-inch squares, 2 white and 2 of the coordinating fabric, I want you to make sure that they are all laying right side up, okay? It could be right side down, it doesn't matter. They just have to be aimed the same. Don't have them aimed like wrong sides together or right sides together, because it could mess you up. So these pieces are going to become these corners. And I'm not sure if you can see that well, but these are not very accurately cut. They're just pieced triangles. And the way that we do that, it's really simple. You just stack these blocks up, and these are cut oversized, so we have room. And you're just going to take your rotary cutter. I have no ruler. Move that away just in case I go crazy. And I'm watching with my hand, just be kind of crazy. Don't cut your fingers off. And I'm going to just start at a corner. I'm going to go across roughly to another corner. And, oops, did it cut all the way?
Obviously not. I mean, it's not going to cooperate.
Yeah, it's not going to cooperate right now. But that doesn't matter because we have extra fabric. And even if I have to cut it a couple times, it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to show you with a couple of these that went through a little bit. Adriane, you need a new blade on your rotary cutter.
Oh, it could be just. Oh my
there.
gosh, you're
okay,
forceful.
There. And then I'm going to do the same with this white, which I didn't cut all the way, but I'm going to try to follow the same line.
I think our surface isn't hard enough today.
I know, it's kind of cushy underneath there, and I couldn't find, because we're moving, I couldn't find my firm mat. We have been searching everywhere. All right, so here's the pieces, and we are just going to take these. They were stacked like this, And this is can be kind of confusing, but if you have them, this is my method. Shelly doesn't always think it works, but if I just take the two blue on the top and I switch them, now this is how you're gonna piece them together. You're gonna take the two, I put them on the bottom, so now I've got a white and a blue, and we're gonna go and sew those together. So it'll make these corners. So we're gonna go away in a minute. We're gonna sew these together.
You want to show these
yeah, I'm
now?
gonna. But when we come back, I'm gonna show you how we make them the right size, okay? Because I don't want you to use a square up ruler, because a square up ruler, I know you quilters, you like to be precise, and we want this to not be precise. So I'm gonna show you how to square them up and not have them be
perfect.
Okay, so now these 4 pieces, the gray and the other white one, they are 5" by 5½. Okay, so the 5", these blocks end up being 4½". So we give you some extra in case you really go kind of crazy on your cut and go a little more diagonal. This is just a little bit on the edge, on the diagonal. But you want to actually cut so that you're cutting across. You're going to cut through this longer edge. This is the short edge. Don't cut this way.
Are you turning it the right way?
I'm sorry. So here's the long edge. This is the short edge, and we are going to cut across the long edge because we're going to lose a ½ seam, 1/4 inch on each side.
Right.
So same thing. Make sure they are all facing up, just so you keep them in order. And you're just going to roughly cut it in the middle. I pressed harder. There, it worked. So I have pieces that are cut. We're going to sew. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the top 2, put them underneath, and now this is how we're going to pair them up. We're just going to sew them together. So we're going to go away and we're going to sew these together, and when we come back, we will show you how to make these into these other units of this block. All right? All right, we're back, and as you can see, we did not sew the blocks together yet because I forgot a little step to tell you. So these rectangular pieces that we cut, this is more obvious. I just want to mention that even though this is kind of like a little angle here, and you're like, oh, how do I line these up? The pieces are oversized, so we have plenty of room. So you are literally just going to take the corners and match them up. And even though, as you can see, when we sew these together, they're going to be off. It's fine. It's going to be perfectly fine. And if these ones are the same, they're oversized, you're going to be fine. Just take the corners, match them up. I mean, the only hard thing on this is sometimes these little pointy corners tend to get stuck in your sewing machine, so be careful of that. If you're having trouble, start from the center and go out. I do that sometimes.
But that's normal with these kind of
right.
blocks.
But don't worry about it. And any time that we are doing these kind of inaccurate cuts that you're like, wow, this doesn't line up, just make it line up. That's what we do with improv. You just keep pulling it around. If it doesn't line it in the corner, and as you sew, just keep getting those seams together and doing your 1/4 inch seam, even if it seems like you're kind of like going in a circle with it. I mean, it's never that big, but
hopefully the lines are a little bit straight.
Right.
Not too wonky.
Right.
As far as curves go.
Right. Yeah. But we are going to even do some in the very near future that have curves, and you just keep lining them up. It just seems against everything you were taught in sewing, but that's how we do it.
But because these are oversized, so we'll cut them to make the right size.
Right. Okay, so now we're going to go sew them, and we will be back and show you how to make them into your 4½ inch blocks.